You may know her from her roles in the films Lady Bird and Booksmart, or for being the first to play Fanny Brice in the 2022 US revival of Funny Girl. That's right, today we're talking about Elizabeth Greer Feldstein, or, as she's better known, Beanie Feldstein. Beanie was a nickname bestowed on her by a nanny when she was a baby. Started out as Eliza Beanie, her brothers said, Beanie'll do, and the name stuck. For the Broadway geeks among us, she's also besties with Ben Platt and is co-starring with him in a film production of Merrily We Roll Along. But don't get too excited. The plan is to film the movie over the course of 20 years, so we've got to wait a while to see it. Beanie grew up in West LA. Her family were members of a Reform congregation where she went to Hebrew school, celebrated the holidays, and where she became, as she describes, a junior cantor, duetting with the cantor on Yom Kippur. Throughout her career, she has been very public and proud of her identity as a queer Jewish woman. By the way, Jonah Hill is her brother. Beanie describes being cast as a child in a production of Annie in the early 2000s. It was her first professional production. She was 10 years old. It was during this production that she experienced another first. Her first feeling of being othered for being Jewish. When, during a pre-show speech on Easter Sunday, the producer wished everyone a happy Easter. Then called Beanie out specifically to wish her a happy Passover. At intermission, the other girls in the cast crowded around her in their dressing rooms. One of the girls looked her up and down and said, "You're Jewish? But you look just like us." Reflecting on this moment, Beanie said, "To be Jewish is to be 0.2% of the world's population. To be Jewish in Los Angeles is to be 17.5% of the city's population. All it took was my 10-year-old self leaving the city of Los Angeles by only 30 miles to feel that monumental shift. The producer was trying to be kind, inclusive, but I felt so singled out, so put on display. A short, round matzo ball in a sea of perfect pastel bunnies." And by the way, I'll add that just as Fanny Brice wasn't considered a beauty because her Jewish looks didn't conform to the beauty ideals of her time, Beanie too has faced her share of fat-phobic comments about her appearance. Beanie continues, "I think of this moment when rhetoric is touted about Jewish representation in the media. To their knowledge, the other girls had never met or seen a Jewish person before. That is stark. I was the only Jew in the cast. That is stark. To be Jewish is somehow to be unseen and overseen all at once. To be under a harsh, blinding spotlight and yet erased, invisible, simultaneously. The 10-year-old girl walking out into the light to confused applause. To be Jewish is to be made to feel like you take up more space than you actually do. This dichotomy has to be acknowledged, represented, and celebrated. Amen, Beanie. Amen. Thank you for representing us."